you'd have to be extremely pleased with how they did adapt again under weak conditions and circumstances.
I'm really proud of the playing group tonight. And just in a game where at half time it was an arm wrestle and it was a tight tussle in difficult conditions. I thought our second half tonight was very, very good, led by our leaders. But more importantly, I think the contribution from virtually everyone out there at most times was to a really high level. So super proud of them tonight.
What did it take?
There's been a few times this season where you've been challenged and not been able to sort of follow through with that. What was the difference tonight?
I think that's what I spoke about, in the press conference on Friday. Was that's the evolution. That's how the group is developing, and the lessons learned. And that was one of them through that period, was our ability to respond when challenged. And tonight at half time there was a real resolve within the group. Last time we played at home against Hawthorn here, we didn't have a great second half, and we own that. Tonight they're able to turn that around, and that's part of learning as a team, learning as individuals. And as I said, I couldn't be more proud of them tonight in terms of how they're able to do that. It was a good step.
From a practical point of view, what happens after half time? Is it harder work? Is it more efficiency? It was a big change after half time. Yeah,
well, I thought we were playing reasonably well. I mean, the 2 or 3 goals just for half time that the Bulldogs got, made the margin a couple of points at half time. They missed a few opportunities late in that quarter, and in the second quarter probably they owned, if you look at it on the balance. They probably missed a few chances to maybe to put more scoreboard pressure on than they did. I think it was just more staying true to what our fundamentals are in terms of how we want to play, and executing at a really high level. I think our kick efficiency went up, our ability to not only win the ball but get pressure on the ball stayed at a really high level, and then we were able to actually start to move the ball, and that allowed us to score. So it wasn't really that it was any major switch we hit. I mean, we reconfirmed some of the things which were causing us some issues in that second quarter, and we had to look at some vision in that space. And to the players' credit, as I've said all year, they're very coachable group, and they take on board the feedback, and they were able to continue to bring really strong effort in the second half, and that yielded the result.
You're extremely dominant in the air in the forward line. Taylor Walker and Josh Jenkins are both outstanding tonight. Do you guys identify, I suppose, the lack of height in that Bulldogs back line as something you could exploit? Well,
that's always one of the things you look at when you look at opposition teams and strengths and weaknesses. It probably was not so much the lack of height. We felt, and we know we've got some really powerful and strong forwards. If we can get the ball in there quickly to some one-on-ones, they're capable of taking some catches. And the guys you mentioned tonight were very good in that space, very good, and led the way. And I thought the captain was front and centre. I thought his impact on the game pretty much for the whole night was substantial. So it was a fantastic leaders and captain's game.
Better night in terms of his football enjoyment for Rory Sloane.
Yeah, well, Sloane is. I mean, and he's another one who's learnt a lot over the last 6 weeks. And it's easy just to say week to week this happens, that happens, but he came out tonight and was again just played as a genuine midfielder and had his impact on the game and played his style, brought the energy and effort that we know that he's makes him the player he is. And some of that you'll see on the stat sheet. Some of you'll just see the referred pressure through his ability to keep hunting. But it's as much as I can talk about Rory and I can talk about Tex, I can equally talk about Jake Kelly down back. And some of the work he did. So there's so many of our guys tonight who I was just super proud of in terms of the level they played at. How they brought their intensity to the contest and they sustained it for a long period. A really positive step for us.
But it wasn't a cynical approach to Sloane tonight, so you still got to get over that hump though, doesn't he?
In what respect?
It wasn't a heavy tag tonight. So.
No, it wasn't a heavy tag tonight. But it was, again, an opportunity for him to go and play footy.
You spoke yesterday about how you wanted to approach Johansson. The moments at the back there, was that your direction to Riley Knight to make sure that he didn't get onto bets?
We had some plans in terms of Johansson to try and and Knight was going to do a sort of watching brief on it. And it was interesting the way it turned out because clearly Johansson wanted to get to bets, so there was a bit of a merry-go-round there for a period. Overall, I felt comfortable in the way that was being played out, and we didn't probably change that too much throughout the night. But it wasn't certainly a hard go everywhere sort of tag. It was probably something we thought we could put some time into him, but also get some benefit from Riley, who I thought again was another one who played his role really well.
How do you review Scott Thompson's game?
Yeah, I need to have a look at it. And look, it was always going to be a challenge for him first game back. He hasn't played at this level this season. So making that transition from Samful up to AFL, I'll have a look at it in more detail.
Hugh Greenwood, what was it with Hugh Greenwood? Just a matter of resting him given first, second season of footy?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, he's come from a basketball background. He's had a full pre-season, and we thought the opportunity on a 6-day break just to rest him, freshen him up for the next part of the season presented, and so we thought it was a wise thing to do.
So he's right to come back on the side next week?
Yeah, he won't play tomorrow. He'll have the full weekend off because it's important. You get not only a physical rest but a mental rest as well. So he'll do that, and that'll freshen him up for the remainder of the season.
What about Walker with that eye moment at the end? Is he okay? Or
yeah, look, I haven't got any detail on that at the moment. I think he's in seeing the doctor as we speak, but and so I really can't comment on it.
Don, it'd be easy to say that hey, you're back to the form from round 1 to 6, but you'd probably say that you're a different side that's learned a bit from the ups and downs since then.
Yeah, well, definitely. I mean, that's what this game's about. You learn all the time. You learn from when you win. You learn from when you lose. And we've had some form which has been a bit up and down in the last probably 7 or 8 weeks. And through those losses, we've learned some things. And as I said, on the other day, it's our ability to adapt and change a little bit of how we play and a little bit of the game as it's being played. And to the guys' credit tonight, I thought they did that. There's still more to go. We're not sitting here saying we've got all the answers. We had a really good win tonight. We're really, as I said, really proud of the group. And but we know there's Melbourne waiting in 8 days' time.
The defence tonight, I mean, the number of intercept marks and scores, it was pretty outstanding.
Well, often one leads to another. That's the thing. It's the attacks, and we've been renowned as an attacking side and scoring side. But the one thing we've been focusing on quite heavily is our contested stuff and our defensive stuff. And a lot of the stuff you saw tonight from an attacking viewpoint actually came off the back of some really strong defensive actions, and that's going to hold us in good stead.
Luke Brown, was there a few nervous moments when the trainers looked to be sort of looking over his knee and doing some tests for a possible ACL at some stage?
Yeah, no, he's fine. He's just got a bruise on. He's able to come back on the game on the ground and complete the game. So he's fine. He's just got a bit of a knock on the knee there.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.